bringing Israel to the world. This is IBN News.
With news of Israel, I'm Susan Michaels. According to Health Minister Yuli Edelstein, Israel has administered 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine to more than half of its 9.3 million population. The rapid rollout has helped the country begin emerging from pandemic closures. Distribution of Pfizer Inc.'s vaccine in Israel began in December, with eligibility extending to citizens and residents over 16. People who receive it are deemed fully protected a week after the second shot. In a statement announcing the milestone amid a sustained drop in new COVID-19 cases, Edelstein called on citizens to follow health guidelines so that the coronavirus does not return. Israel counts East Jerusalem Palestinians as part of its population and has been providing them vaccines. It has also offered vaccines to Palestinians who work in Israel and settlements in the West Bank. Amid a record surge of deaths from COVID-19 in Jordan, clerks at their largest cemetery barely have a moment to themselves as people rush to pay for graves to bury relatives. The cemetery on the outskirts of the capital saw at least 50 burials on Tuesday, a day after the health ministry announced 109 COVID-19 deaths, the kingdom's highest daily tally. "We have no time to scratch our heads," said Ahmad Jaber as he completed a 50 dinar or $70 invoice for a plot at the Amman Municipal Cemetery while bereaved relatives waited in line. Ahmed Abali, who is regarded as a prominent voice for over 30 million Iranians, says, "I believe most Iranian people do not see an enemy in Israel." Abali, who lives in Chicago and broadcasts in the Azerbaijani language to tens of millions of Azeris living in Iran and the diaspora, added, "The perception that if you're Shiite, you're against Jews and Israel is completely wrong. The Azeris in Iran see a friend in Israel. In the eyes of the Iranian regime, Abali is considered an enemy, but Tehran has failed in preventing millions of citizens from watching his broadcasts." And a Massachusetts high school fired its successful football coach and is investigating reports that the team used anti-Semitic language, including a mention of Auschwitz, in its on-field play calling during a recent game. I'm Susan Michaels.
IBN, Israel Broadcast Network.